Our last stream, we mentioned it in that first segment. So our last stream was, of course, covering the United Kingdom Rally.
Yeah.
And that was Tommy Robinson primarily. And we did 5 hours 23 minutes, as I've mentioned, and we followed the sort of official stream from the main stage.
Yeah, you got to wonder, haven't you, the official stream? Well,
I say unofficial stream. It's not really like we went to the second guy that like was in the same position.
Yeah, but you'll get a better feel of that than the official stream, the official news, which is
that's the thing. So that's the lead in for this, isn't it? Right. So, well, I don't know, like, if you remember as well as I do. What was our general opinion of how was this going to get reported the next day?
Well, this is it. I mean, they were lining up for a riot and looting and all sorts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I dare say it's supposed to be a free country. It's supposed to be do what you like and say what you like, but you only do that until.
Hey, Keir Starmer told Trump to his face, and we have a great history, twice no less. Actually, once in American, once here. We have a long history of freedom of speech, but obviously, this is the thing, and again, this is kind of there's going to be a thread here, okay, and it's going to run through this. So I'm going to try and break this up into pieces that we can understand as best as possible. But there's a lot of information here. I'll admit that. But it is very interesting how that moment there where we said, well, wait till we see tomorrow morning the newspapers will be saying it was like 4 men with a whippet and flat caps waving a flag around and lobbing bottles, right?
Yeah.
So this is part of what seems to be a snowballing effect of misinformation in the media. Totally. And it's not just the mainstream media as well. Got to be very honest, there's an awful lot of it in the alternative media too. But it's about where to look, because as we've mentioned on the shows before, the alternative media in an awful lot of cases is not people like you and me doing this off our own dime. It's people who are funded by vast companies. Yeah. And it's all the same companies, as we proved with the Viacom and Pocket Watch, I think they were called, Robert Downey Jr.'s company, it's all the same old people and Nickelodeon. They're just now sponsoring people that look like they're in their bedrooms, for example. And Asmongold talks about this as well.
These like his basement.
Yeah, and
warehouse with basements full of
warehouses full of cubes, basically, where it looks like people are streaming from home. So, this had me thinking straight away. Right, we're going to see a massive fog of war descend over this. And as you say, well, I tell you what, let's just go to it and just go to it straight in, right? We watched this live, didn't we?
Yes.
And the only trouble we saw was very small, and it was largely caused by the small groups of Antifa. Right? And we were specifically following AY audits, who I had mentioned before. In fact, we referred to in that previous video. I encourage you to go check it out. It's on the YouTube. Where we covered the previous footage from the previous protests in Canary Wharf, where the police decided to pepper spray an OAP, right, and a young child. Yeah,
that was it.
Yes, yeah. So AY's done an awful lot of investigative reporting and whatnot. So we watched all this thing, and sure enough, the next day, this is what we wake up to. Now, also, obviously, some of this information, right, we're playing a bit of catch up here, yeah, because we've had a month off since this happened, but here we are watching an overhead view from The Guardian, right? With the independent reporting, what was that? 110,000 people. I don't know if you've ever been to Wembley. You ever been to Wembley?
Yes.
Or Twickenham?
Yeah.
You know how many people those stadiums hold, right?
Yeah.
110,000 people, right, is like a WrestleMania event.
Yeah,
like legit, right? Legit a WrestleMania event. There's enough people to fill a WrestleMania event just like in that quadrant there, right?
Totally. You look at that, you do that wide zoom like you got on there at the moment. That is just
absolutely crazy, right?
I mean, some had it down to 40,000, didn't they? Some were really downplaying it, down to real low figures.
Yeah.
Some went ridiculous with it, and some were in the middle, and some were right.
Yeah. So straight away, they're reporting there is a lot less people, and they go straight in with their far-right extremist stuff, isn't it? Yeah. Well, I mean, again, they were reporting about violence, right? And the violence aspect of it, again, when we were watching it, and obviously I carried on a lot longer after you as well, the violence, again, AY has a habit of being in the wrong place or the right place
The
at
right
the right
place at
time.
the right time.
Yeah. So he was kind of in the thick of that. And like I say, it was where a bunch of Antifa had been bussed in, and they were deliberately sort of bottlenecked in with...
They want to wear the masks, funnily enough, onto their faces.
Yeah, well, this is one of the things, is that these people do all seem to... Well, look, it's the same people over and over again a lot of the time.
Rent a mob, isn't it, basically?
Yes, yeah, we see the same people. I mean, some of them even have names, you know, where... I wish I could remember them, but there's Redhead is definitely one of them.
Yeah.
I think maybe Chicken Nose might be another one, and Ponytail's another one. Right. And these three people, at least every single time you see them, like whether it's in Falkirk or Epping or wherever, they're all there with their signs and their Antifa flags and all of that stuff. And again, look, there's funding on both sides, but one side might be a bit freer to admit where their funding is coming from than others sometimes.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, like, because there seems to be a complete resistance to admit that these people are funded by anyone and bust in, which they evidently are, especially if you watch these videos. Like I say, credit to people like AY Audits, Mystic Media, I think Monet Media maybe as well, BB Audits, other people like that, who are down on the ground actually giving you stuff that's actually real. And in a lot of cases, not trying to contribute too much themselves. That's iffy here and there. Like, I know AY can have a lot of talk, but he's there to talk to people, right? So, yeah, they immediately start leaning into that. And I will admit as well, I said it in the live stream, there was a lot of stuff there that I don't agree with, right? Like, they had Elon Musk come on, and he made his big speech about, like, you fight or you'll die. Yeah, and I'm like, that's, you know, big, strong words and whatever from Elon, who's not a resident here, not a resident in America. Well, he's not legally a resident in America or anything, right? And he's a multi-billionaire, and, you know, it serves his interests to do certain things, right? But equally as well, they did have one guy up there who came on, was he the New Zealand guy? And he started tearing up all the flags and stuff. Again, that's something that's like, even in the stream, I was like, oh, God, this isn't going to help your cause.
I think the bit that I came out of must have been about 1:30, 2 o'clock. Like we both mentioned it, and I was going to go now. It was the back of the queue. And unfortunately, it's always bald-headed men with a St. George's Cross flag or T-shirt carrying bags of beer.
Mm-hmm. Well, do you not remember the scene that we watched where the guys waited to shop for all the beer and I was like, this ain't going to win well,
exactly.
You know? Thing is, though, again, the reports, there's like 25 police officers attacked or something like that. And they said it's like literally a minuscule amount of people involved in any trouble. When you look at how many people were there.
110,000 people. They're going to deploy, let's say, at least 20,000 police.
Yeah.
More than that.
Yeah.
So what? Not even % of them. Not even that.
No. Yeah, absolutely crazy.
Percentage.
And
you tend to find, I think, with a lot of these things that violence breeds violence. So if you accidentally barge into somebody, it's not being in the pub, isn't it? If you bump into the wrong person, you can get smacked.
Well, again, from even the footage that we both were online with, you saw where the police were pushing people back, and they smacked the guy. You remember that guy? And one of them smacked a guy in the face with his truncheon for no reason other than he was standing in the way.
Out the way, you get done for obstruction.
Absolutely. And did they react badly? No, they picked the guy up and shouted at the copper, but didn't attack him back or anything. You know, and this is the thing. There's an awful lot of restraint going on there. And obviously, we had played the videos from AY the week before at Epping where they went up and pepper sprayed and pulled that poor guy out of his car. And all sorts of other stuff. And obviously, they arrested Sarah White when she went up the steps. She's been released because she did nothing wrong. So, you know, like, and this again ties into one of the things that I was highlighting then and highlighting here, which leads into this, right, is that the reason people like AY are there and the reason so many people turned up, right, is because there's an inherent problem in this country.
Yeah, people had enough.
Yes, absolutely.
Which is not putting it mildly.
Yes, very much so. When you look at the number of people that turned out, people have had enough. And you look at the instances that led up to that situation, you can't turn around and say, this happened because Tommy Robinson brought together a bunch of former EDL thugs, right? Because their numbers would not match.
No, that's actually doing... That's bigging up Tommy Robinson.
Yeah.
Yes, he's got a following, but
Yeah.
if you put what used to be EDLs, BMPs, all the traditional ones together, you'd be lucky to get 20.
Exactly, and I mean,
this is just as we showed on the live stream. This is people like me and you. These are middle-aged people, and in a lot of cases, a lot of people sort of quite well dressed for an afternoon in London. Like
that one guy that we were looking at.
Yeah,
you remember, and he was all very, very well dressed and speaking very finely and well spoken.
Not turn up to anything that was supporting far right, anything like that, EDL or BNP as it was. They just wouldn't, and you get to a point where even if they were going to be suggested as being part of it, I don't care anymore.
Yes,
I don't care if I'm flagged as being racist or far right or whatever. This is what
they're starting to notice, is that
that's how bad it's getting.
Yes, I mean, this is the thing. As you were saying, what we watched, what we saw, what we've witnessed, what we've seen amongst the community of people. These are normal people. These are normal people.
Yes,
and we mentioned it before. I keep coming back to it. Is the Fight Club thing. Yeah, we're the people who wash your clothes, that repair your water and your toilets, that cook your food. We watch you while you sleep. Yeah. Do not fuck with us, right? Like, this is very simple, okay? And again, we're talking about people ranging from younger people who are disaffected with the fact that opportunity for them does not exist in this current situation, all the way up to older people who are absolutely disaffected with the fact that they can't get heating over a winter because of this. And again, the massive snowball of people to lead to those millions of people, between 1 and 2 million easily, of those marches, has come out of, and then people have even been saying it today with what's happened in the last 24 hours, which we will have a breaking news update on that in a way, this is stemmed from Epping. This is stemmed from the Bell and Falkirk and all of the others. And it stemmed from that core issue, okay? And the reason all those numbers turned up was because of that. Not because Tommy Robinson put out a call saying, Patriots unite behind me, or so-called Patriots, as people would say. And I've had someone say that to me literally in the last day, so-called Patriots. So-called. And again, it's things like that. We're moving away from, because they know calling people fascist doesn't work anymore. No. And so they're trying to use racist, but they know racist is kind of like failing as well. So now it's going to be so-called Patriots. They'll just keep going.
I love the so-called bit. Anything slightly, so-called.
Yes,
the so-called paedophile, Jeffrey Epstein.
Yes, exactly.
So bloody cool. He was arrested for it and he hung himself.
Absolutely. Or didn't, as the case may be.
Yeah, but we'll get onto that at some point. Probably. We
will do an episode on that. Well, we're mentioning him later. Well, don't worry, we'll get there.
Prince Andrew.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. And like, so, an awful lot of these people are there mainly because of this core issue, and the core issue of the hotels is a big, big chunk of that.
It takes a lot to get people to march.
Yeah.
It gets a lot of people. I always remember my mum, God bless her, in the 80s. We lived in Berkshire. Greenham Common was 3 miles up the road from us. Yeah. And this is in the mid 80s. So she was like in her 30s. Oh, well, I'm going to go up there. And that takes a lot for any, like a housewife, like I say, they every walk of life, for her to want to go up there and associate with the typical soap dodgers that are up at the time protesting about. It worked. They got you can walk across that whole place up there now. It's amazing.
Yeah, well, it's interesting actually, because it worked, right? It worked. These days it ain't working quite. It ain't hitting the same, is it?
There's more people doing this. There was probably a couple of thousand people up at Greenham at one point, and that was it. And there's still a few hangers on the years after. And that made such a change. But I think that was all pre-internet, pre-web, anything. It's the old-fashioned analog days. And now, I don't know. It's just, I think we have too much news. We have too much stuff. There's too many causes, possibly. There's a lot of, quote Donald Trump, fake news.
Well, this is the problem. This is why
we'll go into as well.
Yeah, that's why this episode is called the Factual Vacuum.
And it's bomb, 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 bomb. It's a sausage machine.
Yes,
it's a sausage machine of causes and of creation. You can't jump on every bandwagon. You can't jump on every cause. But I think this one particularly, your common man was out there.
Yeah. Literally everyone from your common man to
And
people
you look
who
around this
are,
guy, the
pretty
flags.
well off, you
The
know.
flags everywhere.
Yep. I
Stood
mean,
up.
and this is the thing, like, the like you say, the disinformation, the sausage factory of misinformation. It was very, very quick off the bat of that, because like we said, watch how the news reports it. The news reported it exactly as we suggested they would, and then we get this from Channel 4.
Of a cultural revolution in Great Britain.
They call themselves migrant hotel auditors, entering hotels providing accommodation to asylum seekers, harassing
Even just
residents.
listen to the music, the scary
Yeah.
music.
Staff.
It's like Barsai. This
Yes.
is full
And there's
Barsai.
not all you can do about it.
Because I wonder,
There's our boy
is
AY.
somebody just going to jump out of the bushes with a camera?
All in the name of taking back Britain's borders.
Who's jumping out of
claiming
bushes with a
governmental
camera?
Competence, but their aggressive tactics are criticised by police and extremism experts.
I'm a citizen journalist.
Creating a narrative that asylum seekers are part of a government conspiracy.
It is dangerous, yeah.
Do you regret it?
Well, I don't even know I've done it, so.
They're amassing millions of views, some earning thousands each month. We've been tracking this lucrative new industry as it generates and cashes in on rage.
Well, I'm sure if they can tax it, they'd be quite happy.
Now, like the good
You can't
lady
have it both
driver
ways.
agreed with, it's like, wait, cashing in on rage?
Yeah.
Isn't that exactly what you do?
Exactly.
Like, that's
And
literally-
misery, absolute
literally
misery.
what the BBC and Channel 4 and all the others do, right?
I'm sure. And we'd do, if we remember, we'd do this next year. We'd do a couple of live events, right? We do relay. We'll do the ninja event, and I'm sure we could probably do a snapshot and put up a 10-second video of showing massive aggression,
Mm-hmm.
taken out of context. Have one of the singers snarling. Have one of you can spin anything, can't you, to make it look aggressive?
Well, you may remember, this has happened to us before. You remember when someone sent some lovely person out there hacked together a video and
Yes.
sent it to like this guy council?
So I can't
And-
think who were allegedly slacking off. It was probably you and Neil, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was me and Neil, obviously.
Can't
Yeah,
be-
no,
yeah,
of course it was. But like the question was,
I can't.
they
What was
contacted
that? You
us.
shouldn't smoke.
Yeah, I know. I really
Don't
do.
smoke, kids. Bad for you.
Yeah, no, they contacted us and they're like, we got this email like, we have absolutely no clue who it's from or what it's about.
Yeah.
And it was hodgepodge together so badly. It was shocking. But yeah, like, this is the thing, like, things are full of half truths. I mean, I do encourage people to go watch that. There will be links in the comments once this is posted, and all of the resources will be in the credits at the end as well. But go check out the full hit piece. I watched it. AY is featured prominently in it, which was for him brilliant, because all they've done is boost
Make a
his...
lot of money out of it, people.
Mate, they boost his figures so much out of it. And again,
Yeah.
it's because they're on the wrong side of this story. And you can just see the apparatchik of the machine going into hyperdrive, like from that all the way through, constantly going on. And there's a lot of people out there, right, that are saying it's localized or it's just epic. Obviously, it's protests all over the place, right? And one of the biggest complaints that people have is there's this massive disconnect between the people that are supporting all of it, right, and where people actually live.
Yes.
The majority of people supporting it are alleged to be basically awfuls, affluent white female liberals, okay? And that does seem to often be the case, and they don't live anywhere near the places where this is actually a situational hazard of going out your front door every day.
Yeah, it's thingy by proxy, isn't it? It's,
Munchausen by proxy or something?
no, it's I can't. It come to me in a minute.
Well, it's victimhood by proxy, in one sense.
Yeah,
It does feed into the permanence of like victimhood, and if you're not a victim yourself, you need to take on the plight of other victims.
That's it.
So, I mean, it brought me to think about this because this is really close to me anyway, right? And hopefully I've got this in the right order, okay? So if wait, I'll just go here for a second. So I want to tell you a little bit of a story here. Okay, so I was born in northwest London. Well, I was born, sort of northwest London. Lived in north for a while, and then we moved to this lovely place, Hounslow.
Note the sense of irony in his.
You know where I'm going with this. Right? Everyone out there watching that knows. Okay. Okay. So back then.
Oh my God!
Look at this idyllic little town, right?
I've got a friend that keeps sending these. He was born in St Austell, and he keeps sending across these sepia tinted. Have a lovely time.
Yeah, beautiful.
This is it. Look.
Yeah, I mean, full attribution, obviously, in the photo there. Here, this is Hounslow High Street by Colin Tait.
Good lady going shopping. She wasn't working. She was going shopping for the husband.
Yeah, and like
the sexism there.
It's funny you say that. It's funny you say that. She wasn't working. She was going shopping. Like, I mean, and again, like, it's funny you say how that would be regarded as a sexist opinion in this day and age. Again, we've got so many things to talk about. We could digress for hours, right? But that is a feature in some of movements of today, right? It's like what constitutes being a woman these days. It's a big problem for them.
Don't start on that one. Even Keir Starmer's know what a woman is.
Well, I mean, not from like the physical sense, which is the obvious one, but I mean the aspect of the proliferation of hatefulness towards women who are stay-at-home mums or trad wives, and the massive resurgence of
trad jazz,
trad wives, traditional wives, But we digress. Let's get back to this. So we're in Hounslow High Street here, and this is actually not far from when I moved there. Actually, I believe this photo is from '86 itself.
Yeah.
And, we had a Tesco's on the high street. Yeah, loads of great things. There used to be a tram system here and everything, And
I'd love to see if they do the same picture of that now as an overlay.
I was looking to try and do that.
Hairdressers.
I was looking to try and do that, right? But unfortunately, I couldn't find one of this particular
It's not there
angle.
anymore. They've flattened it.
Don't worry, we'll get there.
They put another
Stop jumping the gun, bro. We'll get there, right? We'll get
I've had no prep at all to see.
Yeah, no, we'll get there.
No spoilers.
I was hoping to surprise you and stuff, but yeah. So obviously, I lived there for many years, and it was a great place to grow up in many ways, right? Because back when we first moved there, certainly for the first, like, let's say 8 to 10 years, it was great. It was a really nice place. Out towards where we were living near Osterley, it was a nice little village there. There was a bakery, and all the great things that you would want. And it was such a great place that my wife and I got married there. Yeah. Right. And we had our wedding reception at this place, which is the Master Robert Hotel. And this is
going.
This is a great hotel, this one. Yeah, you probably do. This is a great hotel. It had a brilliant reputation for high quality rooms and good service.
Luckily, it wasn't twin with the Bates Motel, really.
Well, no, yeah, absolutely.
Not the Master Bates Hotel, really.
Yeah, well, hey, ba-boom. I've got to get that ba-dum tish on here. I don't know why I don't have that button right here. Anyway, so we had our wedding reception here, and we had the dubious pleasure of being the last people to have our wedding reception there because the place was getting bulldozed a week later. We were the very last people in there.
It was that bad, was it? You trashed it that much?
Well, I mean, they went all out for us. Like, we still will give massive props to them. It was a fantastic night. Didn't charge bottling fee and everything. It was really, really, really great.
Anymore, didn't they?
No, and like
George's flag up looked very.
Yes, yep. This was back in the day, and it also has the interesting auspiciousness or auspicity, whatever it is. The Amy Winehouse got engaged and had her engagement party.
Wow.
Here. Yeah. So obviously, we had that, and it was the last thing there, and everyone, was great, and all the staff were brilliant, and we said our goodbyes, and so sorry you're closing, and it got knocked down and turned into an abyss.
Yeah.
Hotel Abyss.
Oh, I thought just physically a hole in the ground.
No, it got turned into an abyss, a hotel ibis. Okay. So let's fast forward to today.
They in.
Back with our boy.
I'm sure if it's house in the migrants though.
Let me see if you can recognise.
It is going where I thought it was going.
Recognise this car park?
Well, they have no cars in the building. Yeah, it's house in migrants. And they're coming and going at this time of the day.
And just for clarity, right? So basically, what this video here is, we'll run this as a bit of B-roll for a minute, right? But let me put this down here.
I know, Droops. I've got to train him.
We'll run this as a bit of B-roll, and I will explain to you what is going on here. So this is our boy AY that obviously we were following on the day, and Channel 4 gave all those extra views to. Well done, Channel 4.
Channel 4, well done.
And you wouldn't believe it. Again, this is like a couple of weeks ago, a few weeks ago. This is August, not long after. No, sorry, this is September, not long after the March.
Yeah.
Okay, literally, I think the week after the March. And that coach you see there, he's been following.
Yeah.
From none other than the Britannia Hotel. And we all know where the Britannia Hotel is, right? We've all heard of that place as Canary Wharf, where that woman got pepper sprayed by the police. Lovely. We're all keeping up with this. So he was up there, right? And they loaded up this bus with 26 migrants at 2 o'clock in the morning. Okay? And shipped them out, every single one a male, in a sort of 20 to 40 category at the most.
Draft dodging age.
Yep, and this bus, I followed it. Live stream this was.
Yeah.
I followed them following it, to be more accurate. And it started off at the Britannia, and it zigzagged all over the place. Driver knew what was going on. He was trying to lose them. Because he
Not
knew.
a chance to coach.
And again, like, I mean, this is totally legit, okay? This is 100% legit. At 2 in the morning, zigzagging around all over London, trying to avoid letting them know where they're going, right? And he rocks up, first of all, right near my mother-in-law's gaff.
Yeah.
And drops a bunch of people, or a couple of people off at a hotel there.
Hey, she's not housing migrants.
No, but she's living near them now, you know? And then he drives off a bit longer and goes to a housing estate in Hammersmith and drops a few off in a housing estate in Hammersmith. And it keeps going and rocks up here in Hounslow at what was the former Master Robert Hotel. And you can see the Blues and Twos are already on their way, right?
Police escort going for
And the funny thing is that they've turned up here in the amount of time that I've shown you here. You literally just got out of the car from the beginning of this clip so far, right? The guys inside have already called the cops and said that they've attacked someone. Yeah, I wonder if I can like jump ahead a little bit here so you can actually see that portion without me jumping beyond it, right? So if I jump forward, here we go. He's like opening up the.
I thought the first one migrants in there.
And the other question is like, where's all the legit stuff? Like this is just
It's like evidence bags.
right. It's just bin bags.
Raided.
Yeah. But also, you've got to take into account that these guys, you'll see them in a minute as they come out to get them, they're all in brand new clothes.
Oh yeah.
Right? One of them's got a backpack on. This one coming up here on the left in a
Pretty
minute.
designer-ish gear, wasn't it?
He's got a backpack on which has still got the tag on.
How do I know whose sack is labels on them?
Well, I don't know, it might be government issue. It's all the same. It's all the same.
Go to prison, you just get your bag with stuff in it.
It's all, here we go. This boy here, right? He's still got his tag on. Yeah.
Managed to get himself a pair of shoes.
And as AY points out here, it's like, I ain't seen an awful lot of people with like families. I ain't seen no women or children.
They're persecuted. These people are persecuted in their own country, and there's no safer country.
It's funny you say that
in this
because, again, this is the thing with AY and the Channel 4 documentary, right? They make out that he's just going around harassing these people, which some people may interpret what he's doing as a bit of harassment. But actually, no, he's doing the job that someone like Roger Cook used to do.
Oh, I remember Roger Cook.
The Cook Report, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He legit got death threats and like bricked in the head and stuff.
Yeah. Sorts, didn't he?
Yeah. So I mean,
unit, though,
these
he's a massive old boy.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, but even at that, like I was reading, like he did legit have like a serious head injury from someone. Someone legit tried to kill him.
Mafia around at one point, tried or something.
So you know, I would say that to a large extent that's what he's doing. And if people are getting antagonised by the questions he's asking, you've got to ask why.
Yeah,
because they're not unreasonable questions he's asking. And when he comes to these places, once they tell him to leave, he leaves and stays outside the properties. He's actually super legit about the whole thing.
He's not in their faces, he's just following them.
But what Channel 4 don't... I think I might have showed you this, is that guy that ran up to him and threw that coffee in his... Yeah, when he went up to one of the hotels up like Bradford or something like that, dude just came out of nowhere, unprovoked, and just threw a cup of whatever the hell was in that cup in his face. They're not reporting that, are they?
No.
They're out of the blue with no provocation. One of these guys just came out of the hotel, launched himself at him, and the security's protecting the guy, not AY. And then the police came along, right? And he showed them footage and everything, and the police let the guy go. And this is just one of hundreds. Go back, everyone, please. I say massive shouts to AY, right? Like, we're pushing him and a lot of the other people, because people need to know. Look, check, boy in his Gucci hat. My boy in his Gucci hat, you know. You get me? I mean, dude, we're doing something wrong, right? We're doing something seriously wrong, right?
I've done it for a few years.
We should absolutely go down the beach tonight. Pump us up a dinghy, right?
Pretend to
Slap a bit of tan on, right? And just float on down to Dover, right? And we will be quids in.
Yeah.
Not today, we're not, but we will.
I'll be able to go home.
We're probably too old.
I'll be able to go home,
Not
mate.
today,
Yeah.
not today, don't worry.
But like, look, and again,
Don't
how
worry, we're not
legit
coming
does
in.
this seem?
Not today,
How
not
legit?
today.
I mean,
Another day
again,
I will come, don't worry, yeah?
people will say
Another day I'll come to
racismus,
visit, okay?
bigoted, fascismus.
Just not today.
Okay, go
There's
ahead,
the bikes, look.
because this is a problem. Right?
I'm not
That
coming,
hotel, Master Robert, stood there for years.
I know,
It was
I see
named
it,
after
yeah.
a racehorse,
There's all
right?
the
Winning the
reps,
Grand
all the
National,
welcome service,
right?
all the reps and stuff
And
like that.
it was a bit of
Yeah,
British
objectives.
culture, genuinely, that
Yeah.
place, right? You can even tell
Irish
just by the
Styles,
look at the
London,
place.
Heathrow East,
Bulldozed for this, and the
DW5,
question that I have to
0BD,
ask here as well,
Byron Direct, the AY show.
how long has this been planned? Yeah? How long has all of this
don't
actually been
just
planned?
suddenly happen that
Well,
you would think.
this is the thing, because the Abyss in Hounslow, not that one,
Yeah.
there's another one, right?
The whole of Hounslow's in Abyss.
Yeah, there's another one in Hounslow in the centre, right next to what used to be Safeways, near to the Indian Food Mart now, yeah?
That's what a strange
And-
place now. Down.
Yeah, and that one's full as well, right? And again, how many of those people do you see there are, you know, families legit,
not.
or anyone that
How
looks
many
like
kids
legit?
or women do you see
None.
on the boats? It's all blokes.
Yeah.
And I'm sure if we had the situation in this country where you're going to get conscripted if you're of a certain age, we'd all be fleeing. Well, I wouldn't. We're all too old. But my son would be fleeing. That's for sure. Fight for
The thing is,
government.
though, a lot of these people are actually fleeing being criminals, you know, and having fought on the wrong side in battles that have now been lost. I mean, look at the Eritrean situation, which is something we're going to have to do a whole episode on, because the Eritrea, look at the statistics of the number of crimes being committed, violent sexual crimes being, and how the number one, I believe, was Afghani, and number two is Eritrean.
Yeah.
Okay. In this country, people, go look it up. Figures are out there. Okay. These are facts. Okay. You're not just pulling this out of my arse, right? And the Eritrean one, immediately, I've said from day one, watch how many Eritreans are going to turn up in this whole situation.
Yeah.
Because the Clinton Foundation have been all over Eritrea. Do some research on that. I might try and do an episode on it to try and like link people into that. But the Clintons and Hillary in particular, when she was Secretary of State even. Yeah. And we're getting the fallout of that.
Yeah.
These people, like the guy in Epping who was from Eritrea.
Absolutely.
And, you know, what was he sentenced with as well? Sod all, right?
Yes.
Like, absolutely ridiculous sentence, you know? So, you know, we're bringing all these lot in, right?
Well, I've got to say, I was saying to someone the other day, I think all the lady folk of these countries are probably breathing a sigh of relief now.
You would think, right?
Because they're safe. They're better to walk the streets unmolested.
You would think. Well, it's funny you say that, right? Because what do you think the end result of, like, such a cultural enrichment of the area I grew up in, and that idyllic, beautiful Hounslow High Street I showed you earlier? Well, literally 2 days after AY,
out harassing
there we go.
women has become a common theme.
Mate, seriously.
Mate, pack it in, mate. This is our country now, mate.
No, it isn't.
Yeah, it is. I'm sorry, it is. Look around. Look around, you idiot. Look around.
just Hounslow High Street.
No, everywhere.
Remember, these
Only
are the
in
people
Hounslow,
who
mate.
shit
I mean, to be
lives
fair,
insist are
Hounslow,
British
a
or
place
even
like
English
Slough
simply
have
because
been
they were born here, while
that
they
sort of way
literally
for
claim.
quite a few years now, haven't they?
So this is the thing, like, and again, like, God bless my mum and my dad and my family. I've told them for years that this is the way Hounslow's been going, and because they don't see, they don't experience it, they think it didn't exist. I mean, look, I was going to try and play a video that I'd found a while back, and it was a video of a guy driving around Hounslow before. Yeah. Okay. And my mum, I showed it to her, and she was like, "It's fake." And this is before AI was like actually a thing at all. And I'm like, do you know the amount of extremes you'd have to go to fake driving around in an 80s car with an 80s radio station playing with 80s music and the building not built?
Yeah.
And it's because to her memory, that building was there already.
Yeah.
When we moved there, but it wasn't. So, you know, a lot of people can have false memories and stuff like that. But then you also get the aspect of, even if you are shown the truth, it's like what we were saying a while ago about the moon landing, right?
Yeah.
Is that even if people literally showed you the negatives with Stanley Kubrick standing there giving stage direction, people have admitted in questioning that they would just don't care. I still believe it happened because it was that big an influence. But yeah, no, I mean, it had been going on for ages. I have multiple friends who have been in scuffles. I've had several people in my group of friends who've been stabbed. I've seen stabbings myself. This is one of the reasons I got out of there. And this right here is the reason I got out of there. This right here is
colonisation of the country on behalf of their native ethnicity, and explicitly assert that they're not English.
And you think you're English? Wow.
I don't want to be English. I don't want to wipe my do with the dry tissues.
Oh, wiping your arse with toilet roll is apparently some backward custom that only English people do. He then proceeds to insult
exactly what my thought was. Like, wait a minute, is it better I just sling it out my left hand and just fling it against the wall like fucking... And again, I'm not trying to fucking, like... This is the thing. You can't stop people having these impressions when this is the shit you do, bruv.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. It's
ridiculous.
ridiculous.
She's taking a bus to work.
I don't want.
Fucking live here for the money, though, don't you?
I don't want to have dried up do. I don't want to have dried up do. I don't want to drive up to my two cheeks every day.
Not shopping like a woman early.
No.
Fucking prick, look at you.
And that's the angle that woman was walking down. So we are.
You haven't got much years left, have you?
20 years later. Or 40
How old
years
are
later,
you?
sorry.
How old are you? Yeah, take that boss while I drive an Audi.
And what did he get for harassing that innocent woman?
Nothing. As far as I'm aware. This guy is not
harassing him.
Apparently.
No, she. Yeah.
Mobility scheme. Andrew Tate, eat your heart out.
Audi bus stop benefits living.
You're going to work.
You're so English, aren't you?
Going to work.
Get a car then.
Going to
Save
work.
up. Get a car.
Going to
You're on the
work.
bus. Bye.
Going to
Bye.
work.
You're on the flipping bus. Bye, English. This is the English life. Alright, this is the English life. Bus stop every day. Come on, I'm in my Audi. Come on, brother. Go, sit on that bus. Joke, man. You can't touch me, man.
Right, wait. More than across it.
There's more.
But then there's more. Yeah. I'm not joking. Police officer stabbed in neck in West London. And this one was September 10th. How's that cultural enrichment doing for you, Hounslow?
Absolutely.
Give us a shout in the comments, or in the chat, if you're still there. And you're wondering why you don't see me walking the streets of Hounslow no more. What? Why?
Anyone walks the streets of Hounslow anymore.
Yeah?
The sad thing is, you could transpose that headline most cities in the country.
Yeah.
And that MP the other day, and I'm not alive to any political party, they said he didn't see a single white face in Birmingham.
Yeah.
It's true, wasn't it?
Well, unfortunately, yes, again, there's nothing that in the last 24 hours someone has mentioned to me. And I'm like, again, when was the last time you were in Birmingham? Yeah. I've got to make a trip soon that goes via Birmingham. I'm going the hell round it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm taking, was it the M42 round it or whatever it is, because I'm not going through Birmingham.
No.
Yeah, especially, and there are other clips that I could have put in actually about what's going on in Birmingham. But again, look at even how it's reported. 3 men, aged 19, 28 and 34, right? The 34-year-old's been arrested as well. Additional charges of robbery, aggravated assault and robbery as well. Multiple burglaries, right? But no, we just get 3 men, aged 19, 28 and 34. And what did they look like?
Yeah.
Who were they? What were their names and where were they from?
It's racist. You can't mention they were probably...
Well... Yeah, you can't
a
be doing
certain
that.
colour.
You can't be doing that, especially because we live in the age of this.
We call it new truth. It's up to 10 times better than old truth.
This is wonderful, but how much will it cost us?
Well, we're looking at about £5 million.
That's terrible.
Only under old truth. Under new truth, I think you'll find it's of enormous benefit to everyone.
Yeah. Absolutely, right? And I mean, again, that was Monkey Dust from 2005.
There's so much stuff we were saying before we went on air. So much stuff that, I mean, they sort of say the Simpsons predict stuff. And they do. And they did, and they have.
Yes. Yeah.
All of it. You can't parody. You cannot spoof it. If we did this 10, well, we probably did 5 years ago. You could not spoof it because it wouldn't be believable.
That's why Chris Morris doesn't do anything anymore. Even Armando Iannucci's pretty quiet these days. You know, like unfortunately,
parody and satire are dead because you can't parody real life.
Yes, and if you do, you're in trouble, right?
No
that's the other
satire
thing
anymore because Keir Starmer's sewn it all up.
Yeah. So I mean, like, you know, thank you for indulging me. That was my little story about what happened to my beautiful hometown, Hounslow.
It's any of them. We could pick one every week, and I bet you could. I mean, you could pick the sleepiest village in the country. Even I come from Berkshire, so Newbury, it's all Vodafone City, racecourse, fairly popular, fairly affluent area. It's what I've read. A friend of mine brought the papers up the other week with them. There's a local guy in a little sleepy village nearby was done for being a cannibal. I kid you not, this
doesn't surprise me.
He was a chef.
It doesn't surprise me.
He was a chef.
Well, of course he was. You'd have to be. Who'd be a cannibal and not be a chef? Trust me, you do not want sinewy bits of bicep.
He had a kill list. He had ropes. He had gags. He had gaffer tape, cable ties, and obviously all the chef knives because he was a chef. And I want to kill people. You've
seen Hannibal, the TV series, right? Yeah. Like, what I'm getting in my head, the image I'm getting in my head is Eddie Izzard from Hannibal. You remember that scene? Yeah, he feeds him to himself.
Before we went full woman, went really, really weird.
That was so good. I need to rewatch that. So we should do a
that was
TV
good. I
on
like
that.
They're not doing it again, are they? I don't think.
Okay, so I mean, I'll very briefly digress for a second here. It's by Brian Fuller.
Yeah,
this guy never finishes it. I love Brian Fuller's stuff. He's done some brilliant things, including Hannibal.
That was really good.
He was supposed to do Star Trek Discovery,
right?
And they booted him off, and look what happened to that. But probably for the best because he wouldn't have finished that either.
Yeah. It's something. We are digressing a tad, but something like Hannibal. So they always say you shouldn't try and mess with perfection. They're on about remaking Highlander. Can't be done.
Well, I don't know. Henry Cavill.
Oh yeah, fair enough. Right, bad example. But things like Science Lab's Hannibal, you can't improve on that. You really can't. No. He's a crap job at that. He really did.
Yeah. The series was surprisingly
really good.
Yeah, no, the series was surprisingly good. I'm a Dr. Pepper. But yeah, I mean, to get back to this, that's happened there.
That was lively.
So for anyone that's saying that this is a localized issue, this is, it's not a bigger problem as it seems. That's happened in my home.
Yeah.
And that was in London.
Yes.
And Epping's in Essex. And again, Monkey Dust predicted this with this.
Bloody asylum seekers. Can't bloody move for them in Essex. Yeah, well, the same down our way. Trip over bloody Afghans and Kurds in London. I think there's more in Essex. Nah. London. Essex. London. Essex. London. Essex. London. Essex.
So, yeah.
I mean, shooting up at a scrap route, that'd be more authentic, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Not a fight.
Yeah.
Not a bar brawl.
So, it's interesting as well because we've come out here, right? Both of us are out here now. We're far out in the West Country. We're far out. We're in Cornwall. You wouldn't think that this might just be on our doorstep as well.
I was waiting for a clip from Liscard. Saying that, I should have brought I need to do the paper reviews. I used to do them on the other shows, not the paper reviews. The crime page.
The crime page, some of the stuff.
That is a whole show. What is it? And I'm digressing. I know tremendously. Having sex with animals down. I know around the country, not a week goes past where Dave of No Fixed Abode has been caught in for a grudge with a hamster.
Oh, mate.
Or extreme porn with dogs.
Yeah, that's only the light side.
I know it's
we should start doing. Bring it next week. We'll do a segment next week.
I know it's the countryside, and there is a lot. I'll say it's like worse. There's no worse than that going on. Is there? I mean, honestly,
I don't know. It can always get worse, man.
Well,
it can always get worse.
That is pretty low, though.
It is. But I mean, you should do that. Like next week, bring some papers. Let's do paper segment. I might stick to the sort of schedule time.
But you look at those papers, and it never fails to amaze me. And some of them, not even funny. Some used to be reasonably funny. There was one guy I remember. I did it on the show. They had a diary of all his shoplifting. On the 18th, he stole this from Boots. On the 19th, he went to H&M. On that, and he was like,
I think I remember that one. Yeah.
Bloke had like leather jacket.
It's funny you say that actually, because when I went to town, several traders were telling me that they'd had him in the shop, like the Spa and John and people like that.
That's amusing, but I'm sorry, I'll draw a line at sex with domestic or farm animals.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, to the point here, like to round up, like the hotel segment of that,
yes,
because again, like I say, this all will thread together. So yeah, you wouldn't, it's happened in London, it's happened in Hounslow, it's happened in Epping.
Happening here?
I don't know if it is happening here. We have
rumours about
there are some auditors on their way to Cornwall. I know that one went to Newquay fairly recently. So there is apparently something going on in Newquay. But you may remember on the last podcast, you mentioned the fact that Elliot House had applied for a full HMO status. Yeah. Now, that was last reported in the press here in July-ish, I think it was, June, July.
Nothing buried at all.
Or sorry, June even, yeah. Well, that's the thing. As far as I can see, there's been no report on the actual confirmation, which happened in early August.
Neighbours are going to be happy, aren't they? Certain neighbours that we know very well.
Yes, we already know at least one person who's had trouble there. And I was driving past it the other day, and I'm not saying this has already happened, but several of the windows on the front of it are already hanging off. But be aware. They have the status. They can do it. And it would make sense because obviously the Premier Inn, and again, not saying this is what happened, but the Premier Inn were offered to do that, which is why they did the whole shutting down of the pub and all of that initially. But then that got reversed, so they ended up like just being like the sort of pub being private to the hotel. If that had been turned down with the sort of money that apparently is changing hands behind the scenes for this sort of stuff,
I'm all for making money, but come on.
Yeah, but you could understand why because again, we talked about the degradation of the town and everything, the difficulty in keeping a hotel open. Yeah, like so.
I won't mention any names. A local councillor, he's not one of the, he's probably one of the leading political parties these days in this neck of the woods. Very nice chap indeed. Was down near Minions, Crow's Nest, Disarray sort of way. And there's an old folks home there, totally boarded up, been fenced around, security guards on the front. And he went out there, what's going on? Can't tell him, mate.
Yeah, so this is the other thing I've been worried about, because hasn't one of ours just round the corner here in Liscard been done as well? I think there's someone taking over, an Indian family's taking over old people's home near here. And again, my suspicion went up straight away because we know that they've been doing this as well.
What's that big old white house you should drive up past JJ's towards?
Oh, that's part of Wilderness, or at least used to be part of Wilderness.
Yeah, because that's a big old house there, isn't it? Watch this space, people.
Yeah, again, Wilderness, aren't, from what I've heard, aren't exactly in the best of financial states.
No,
so again, there could be an opportunity for them there.
House, though. Really nice house.
So, I mean, that does kind of like tie back into...
everywhere.
Yeah.
Happening more and more.
It ties back into like just the lack of reporting, complete lack of reporting. Back in the day, there would be reports on this stuff. Like you were saying about back in your day and going up there, I would have seen that on the news.
Yes.
Yeah, like and like when you had the newspaper marches and the coal miners' strikes and the poll tax and all that.
Yeah.
There was actual verifiable coverage going on back then, and that was by the mainstream.
Yeah.
Now it's completely gone.
It's all been bought, hasn't it? That's the thing. You got Sly News, you got BBC.
Absolutely.
You can't believe the word they say.
And they've closed ranks.
I want to ask you a few questions. You don't have to answer the questions.
I'll do my best.
I went upstairs.
I'll just give a little bit of pretext here. So Tommy was obviously straight back into court.
Yeah.
Right? Because they're trying to get him on terrorism charges, right? And again, where's the legit reporting on this? Now, on day one, this here is Ezra Levine, in case anyone doesn't know who he is. He's a Canadian independent reporter. Yeah. And he on day one was asked to leave the court because he was live tweeting in the court, and the BBC took offence to it.
bless them.
And of course, when the BBC came out at the end of day one, they started accosting this gentleman here, who is from Urban Scoop, broadcasting here on the Tommy Robinson channel.
Yeah.
He was accosting him as well, as if he wasn't proper journalism compared to them. Okay. Wow. So Ezra went and spoke to the judge and showed him his credentials. And the judge looked at him and said, yeah, you're fine.
Yeah.
And you can actually go sit in the press gallery.
Yeah.
Day 2, this is what happened.
Toilet, and when I came out, I saw you being pulled out of court by a court official. Yeah. Can you tell me, did what I see, was that correct?
Yeah, it was astonishing this morning, or a little earlier today. The judge reviewed my credentials with the independent press gallery and pronounced that those credentials were sufficient for me to act as a journalist in the UK. They were similar to UK credentials. The judge told me that I should be a little less spicy when talking about officers of the court, and I told him I would agree. So I sat down in the court next to the other accredited journalists, and that was helpful to me because it was much easier to hear the proceedings. But then when the judge was not in the room, one of the clerks said, you got to get out of here. You're not allowed to sit in these empty chairs. It's not like it was overfull or anything. And I said, did the BBC complain again? And one of the clerks said something like, all the press did. I have trouble believing that, although it is plausible. And I said, no, I want to hear from the judge. It was the judge who granted me my credentials, and I don't know who you are. And did the judge hear this? And they said no. Like they admitted that the judge was not behind this. And I said, well, I want to hear the judge. And then the security started physically pulling me. And I thought, you know what? I don't need to be ejected from this court over where I'm sitting. But it shows how entrenched the snobbery, the elitism, the discrimination is. You know, I'm from Canada. We don't really have the class system, but you had these prestige journalists on the inside.
Wait. Hold on a second. Hold on. I need just to wait. I'm from Canada. We don't have the class system. Mate, you're an Anglophone, right? Have you tried going to Francophone Canada?
Jeez.
You see how in Canada you're not allowed to have English signs? And menus and everything. It all has to be in French. Like Quebecians have like changed the law, so all of the shops have to have all their stuff in French.
Crazy.
Yeah, Ezra, like, I don't know, he's speaking a little out of turn there.
Just a little bit.
One of the citizen journalists gets credentialed. The mean girls gang up and push you out. And it was so gross that the BBC snitched on the first place that I was saying some pointed things in my tweets. Imagine being a government journalist and you call some government hotline to get your rival. I don't know. I mean, in the past,
he's not wrong, right?
No, totally right.
I thought that was very illuminating, and it shows the larger problem. Tommy is being treated as an enemy of the state. Anyway, I'm looking forward to hearing what he has to say. As you probably heard, they're not releasing the judgment today. That won't be for about 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks.
And I was shocked. I don't know if you remember seeing me. I actually went upstairs to use the bathroom.
Just so you know, he was using the toilet. Okay, that's the second time he's mentioned it, right?
If you had been yanked out and you asked him, what is your name? I want your name.
You know what? I like asking people their names. Oh, here comes
it's Tommy now.
Okay, so it's Tommy now, right? So just to clarify that, the judges said it's fine.
Yeah.
The BBC complained the day before.
Yeah.
Then today, my man, just out to Urban Scoop, goes to the toilet, just so you know, he's trying to go to the toilet, and sees him getting literally physically, like, pulled out, like, aggressively by the sounds of it. And apparently all of the mainstream media didn't want him then. And again, what is going on here? Like, you can't possibly claim that we have any form of independent media in this country that is on mainstream broadcasting television. It is absolutely ludicrous, right?
And the ones that do, so you go to your GB News and your Piers Morgans and your as was Talk TV,
they're
all far right and extreme.
Well, that's the other
The
thing.
late great James Whale,
Yeah,
God bless him, was far right and extreme. What a guy he was! What a broadcaster!
Yeah. But even those as well, like even GB News, like crikey, that thing seemed like such a massive shutdown on an awful lot of what they're allowed to talk about and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, just from we'll come back to Ezra in a minute, but like, just that on its own shows you what we're talking about here. Is that there's a complete lockdown on actual proper
news, proper reporting.
Yeah.
And they moaned about the cartel years ago of Murdoch having control of too much media. It was going a bit James Bond, the world's not enough malarkey, and Maxwell back in the day. You can't have these big conglomerates controlling the news. Well, you better reporting in those days in the Sun and the Mirror.
Again,
and the
this
Star
is the
News
thing,
of the world. Broke a lot of scoops.
Well, the thing is, again,
Not
back in the
allowed
day, like, because again, one of the box sets that I bought was Superman: The Adventures of Lois and Clark, which again will tie into segment 2. And like again, watching that, like just the way press worked back in the days, locally operated press was a lot better. And people could go to the local press, and the local pressman would be like, "Hey, I like your moxie, I like your style." There's a lot of different opinions, a lot of different politicised acts or whatever. Nowadays, it's all homogenised. Completely homogenised and controlled by 6 people.
Very much like radio's going these days. Our media.
Yeah, and the fundamental problem here is that he's reporting things as they are in the court.
Yeah.
So this case was Tommy Robinson. They're trying to charge him on terrorism, right? So here he is talking about the verdict.
So back to court, which again is more fees because they just said now we're going to have another bill for another day in court. It's just insane, isn't it? Another bill for another day in court. We heard all the evidence. There was no evidence, So they arrested me under terrorism legislation, which is where they're meant to find out if I'm a terrorist. All they asked me about was my political beliefs. All they asked me about. So they didn't ask me about anything to do with violence, terrorism. In the end, they threw in something about far-right extremism. They didn't ask me anything about that. They just asked me about my legal, lawful, legitimate political beliefs, which is what this was about. This was about detaining me because I'm Tommy Robinson and because I'm outspoken on subjects such as Islam. You heard it from the final officer, Islamophobia. So what even is Islamophobia? What, you can't have an opinion of Islam without getting detained under the Terrorism Act now in Great Britain? But that's it. So I'm 4th November, which is a good thing because it means I get to go on a state visit to Israel tomorrow to form friendships and allegiances with a government that actually understands Islamic jihad and doesn't just understand them, a government that will stand in the face and fight them rather than bow and pander to them. Because unfortunately this government bows and panders to Islamic jihad. They've lost, they've surrendered already. Surrendered, recognised a terrorist state. So yeah, I'm happy because I thought they may try and lock me up today to prevent that. But yeah, I'm off tomorrow and then I'm back in court now on the 4th of November for my verdict.
And my final point, I went upstairs earlier on to use the toilet. I then went into court one.
Has he got a slight bladder problem? He's trying to get a tenner advert or something out of it.
I was sitting in there and the judge had said, Ezra, after fighting, recognised, because he had to recognise that he is a legitimate journalist that's come from Canada. Then when the judge went out of the back room, the staff come in and said to Ezra, you need to get out of here. And he said, well, the judge, I heard you saying, well, the judge has just said I can stay in here. Nope, you need to leave. Then they brought security in to forcefully eject.
And I was there.
You saw it? Yeah.
I was there.
Okay, I was sitting in the dock to forcefully eject you from court. Mad. As I said, there's a war against citizen journalism being fought by the state.
It was shocking to me. I mean, the judge gave me the green light. And then the staff wouldn't have it.
But then they done it when the judge was out in the back.
Right.
So we don't know if the judge was on side or not.
Yeah, we don't know. You're right. Very strange.
So the judge may have gone out the back and forcefully had you removed. We don't know.
And that's only 1% of what you face here all the time. Yeah. Not even 1% of the deep state, if you can call it that. They don't want any challengers. You're a challenger to it. I'm a challenger in a smaller way.
They don't want anyone telling the other side. What's insane has been their reporting on this case. So let's see what happens on the 4th of November. But and then we can dissect, if we win this case, which I hope we do, we can then dissect the absolute embarrassment of journalism from the entire row of mainstream journalists as well as all the ones online. None of them reported any of the unlawful activities of the police officers, which have been proven as unlawful in court.
You know, the judge asked me to go easy on the cops and the prosecutors. That's what he asked me to. But
why didn't he ask him to go easy on me?
I was going to say he didn't ask anyone to go easy on you. It's sort of normal that you defame Tommy in your mainstream coverage.
Or didn't pick up on any of the lies they told either, or the way they twisted stories. Yeah. But yeah, I'm grateful for everyone who supported me. I'm grateful for Elon Musk for giving me the opportunity to have my King's Counsel in there So Carson Kay, my solicitor firm, and the King's Counsel, Alistair Williamson, was unbelievable. He absolutely tore those 3 police officers a new arsehole.
Right, just that last bit there. But yeah, I mean, so there you go. Like, it's obvious that there's a shutdown on the information being put out, and like, obviously, what we've covered with AY and stuff like that as well. There's Section 17 of the Public Order Act that he's been quoting everywhere, and various other sections of it. I believe that we are on the cusp of a push against independent journalism. I was initially thinking that the government would go for a change in the Public Order Act. It may still come, but one thing that I have heard, and I believe other people have reported, is that they're looking to change it so you have to be part of like the press affiliated press union in this country in order for them to regard you as being a real press person, which obviously would have horrendous implications, right? And again, further, if you're trying to hide the idea that you might be trying to be a totalitarian state, this ain't the way to do it, bro.
Is it? And to be fair, these people that are doing this reporting, it comes back to that famous Groucho Marx quote, doesn't it? I don't want to be a member of any club that wants me as a member.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's absolutely true.
I don't want to be a member of the press because I'm going to be tired with the
Well, and again, that's what all of these people are there for. And like Ezra Levine and a lot of it, and we'll mention him again in a second, but a lot of people are in that position because they've left more mainstream media.
Yeah, they're disillusioned with it, like a lot of them.
Tucker Carlson. Yeah, perfect example right there. Yeah. So it's coming. And what got me even more with that was like, when's he back in court?
The other thing that gets me as well, all these court appearances, all this wasted court time, things like this, for things like investigations, we'll go off topic a little bit, inquiries, these long-winded 2-year inquiries. What the hell is that costing the country to do these inquiries? You know you cocked up, you know something. Hands up, went wrong, move on. Let's actually put this billions of pounds into something practical. What's it costing the state to attempt to prosecute Tom Robinson for being a terrorist?
Well, again, that's part of the point as well, is that like as he stated there, and there's been some legal commentary from other lawyers and like his Casey's standpoint. They're trying him on his political beliefs, not on any actual act of terrorism of any sort.
So if that's a dangerous that's where they could arrest him was on terrorism.
Yeah, and
you can't arrest somebody for having contrary beliefs. Cross, we'll all be in court.
Well, that's the thing. They've arrested him under one premise, and they're trying him under another. Which, if this results in a prosecution, him going down, right? What does that mean for other people on the basis of political belief or religious belief or any other sort of social belief? It's almost like the watermark of where this is going to go. And like I say, what bloody date have they chosen for him to go back to court? November 4th. So if he gets sent down, what's the next day?
Yeah.
Like, could you set this up anymore?
You couldn't, could you? They do these things with these key dates, don't they?
Yeah.
They really do.
Yeah, it's mental. So I mean, and the thing is as well, is that this is part of a dual-pronged attack that's going on. Like, all of it, because there's a much bigger picture going on all the time, and you've always got to take a much higher level view of it, right? So over here, it's very much focused on the right. Yeah, it's all about these people being right-wing, fascist.
Yeah.
Because anyone like that is not left is now right.
Of course they are.
Yeah, it's basically that, like, everyone I don't like is literally Hitler.
Yeah.
And we're seeing that in droves right now, and some of the confusing aspect is they're still going, even though they know we know what they look like and what they're doing. It's really bizarre. But it is a two-pronged attack, because as much as this is happening over here on the right side of things, so like pushing against the right, in America, I think it's reflected as well with the left. Yeah, no, we'll come back to him in a second. What I wanted to quickly was latest news. Okay, so again, with a lot of what we're covering here, stuff has been happening so quickly. Now, what I warned of in the podcast and what we warn of constantly, and again, let's try and make this a bit clear as well, because a lot of people obviously are going to be out there going, oh, they're just like patriot movement far fighters. I am a proper centrist, right? And Elon actually even said it himself. There was one thing I agreed with, is that we need to get back to the logical centre and the rational centre.
Yes.
In any debate, right? We can't just keep pushing the Overton window further and further out, which is what I was saying, right? because I said, if you don't look, if we had dealt with this back in when Blair came in, right, if we'd actually dealt with it then,
swear in front of him.
yeah, we'll be back to him later. If we dealt with it when he came in the first time, this wouldn't be a problem now. Yeah. And many would argue if we didn't get involved with the EC or any of that, again, absolutely valid points, right?
What's done is done.
But we've said so many times, if you don't deal with it now, this is what's going to happen. And here we are last night in Dublin, yeah? That's a police car on fire, bro.
Yeah.
It is kicked off. And it's kicked off spectacularly. And it wasn't just there. Southampton kicked off as well. And who do you think's supplying this footage right here?
Exactly.
It's AY.
Yeah.
AY's in Ireland. The boy does not stop,
He
right?
doesn't, does he? But he's only going to report on stuff that's happening. So
yeah,
wasn't happening.
Exactly. If it weren't happening, you wouldn't have anything to report on. And so this is what I meant. Yeah, like, it's come on, boys. Like, if you don't deal with the matter, this is what is going to happen. And people have been saying it for so many years. No one's been paying a damn bit of attention, you know. And now we're here. Now we've got police cars burning in the street in Dublin. And this one was a situation, right, whereby this was a situation where it was, again, another immigrant hotel, and the migrant was had committed a horrendous crime, horrendous crime, involving, correct me if I'm wrong out there, people, but it was a 10-year-old girl involved. Right?
I'm surprised, man.
And he was supposed to be deported 6 months ago. But they let him stay. You know, and it's funny because Ezra Levine just happened to be there.
Yeah.
And they beat the crap out of him. He got beaten up, he got violently attacked, and didn't go down well. So, as I was saying, you know, this is what happened. This is what happened.